this all about today. I mean, I had to burn some incense, honey. How you do? My baby. How you guys doing? So funny, man. So anyway, today I'm gonna shut off the music because I'm done. I don't want to hear it no more. So anyway, we were supposed to have Barbara on, but we had to change the plans. Oh, it's a big girl. It's a pretty girl. Yes, thank you very much. It's time to wear these light colors because, you know, summer's coming. I don't like the heat, guys. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's supposed to be 77 tomorrow. Last night, I kid you not, it was 29 degrees. But there's no climate change. Imagination. No climate change. Anyway, so glad you guys came. It's getting fun. Tonight we're going to talk about transition. Because that's what, same here in Chicago, really, I can't stand it. You know, in PA, the southern part of PA, we go from 29 to 95 one day. And then Tammy, you got to go look for air conditioners, bring them from the attic, but a bunch of stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like 77 all the time. Would be nice. I don't understand why we got to have. Anyway. So, can you guys hear me okay? Everything good? Lord of mercy. That's right, girl. Can you hear me? I'm talking good. Tell you about OSEP. So, last week I told you guys I sent an email over to Laura Duos because, you know, Tammy needs to know what I'm dealing with. I got to line up my ducks. Okay, good. I got to line up my ducks. So, I sent OSEP a little two-liner and I said, hey, are you guys still open for business? I'm not kidding. That's pretty much what I said. Are you guys still there? Is what I said. And so Laura Duels contacted me back, and she said, yes, we are still here, Tammy. And if you need a name of any person, good. If you need a name of any person, you know, the state contact you, just let me know. I said, okay, thank you very much. Then I proceeded to ask her another question, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway, so OSEP is there to some degree. Like I told you guys, you know what that is? Do you see what I'm holding in my hand? Because my brain is stupid. This is a stitch marker for crocheting. I don't make any sense. Anyway, I told you guys, I always got to know who the players are. Always. So, and I need to know where everybody's standing and situated and everything. You see, this administration and government, their goal is to make the states responsible for everything. Okay, so they're going to take care of you, allegedly. Okay, now, that didn't work out so good before, so, what's this? Well, you have influences. No, but that's my girl. She's the one that wrote the thing against Massachusetts. Well, it wasn't just her. She's pushed it and did what she had to do to make it happen because it needed to happen. So anyway, like I tell you guys, I have to know because, you know, what I do is based on what's available. I work within the federal laws and the state laws. And I use whatever I can to get what I need for my kid to prove to these crazy people who have credentials allegedly. I don't know where these people went to school. It boggles the mind that they have decided that they're going to create and invent regulations that don't exist. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit because I've had it up to here with the stupid. Okay, so anyway, so I did contact them. Now, I'm going to tell you people to just keep doing it. We'll find out through each other. Okay, like I told you guys last week, what we need is a movement. Okay, we need people that are going to get on this train and it's going to keep on rolling. That's what we're going to do. You're the oh, thank you. Almost as you're the smartest advocate out there. Sorry, just saying. I love you. I just love you. You guys, this is why I do this, you know, it's good for my ego. But thank you so much. I really mean that. Oh, she did, Amanda. I know she was wonderful. I bet. Because we're worried about them. We gotta let OSEP know, you know, we're worried about you guys out there. We know what you're doing. And they don't like it. So, but see, here's the thing. I know they're under the impression they can do whatever the hell they want. Okay, but they can't. Not yet, at least. We got some fight in us. And we're gonna fight back. And what I told Amanda earlier, I'm gonna make a t-shirt. Hopefully I'm gonna make it tomorrow, and I'm gonna post it tomorrow. And it's gonna say idea strong, parent strong. And it's gonna say hashtag Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. And that's what it's gonna say, idea strong. And I might send one to Laura Duos. To people over there. I might do that and let them know we're here. We got you. We got your back. We know what you're doing. Because they need to know that we have them so that they can help us. Like I told you guys before, the federal regulations can't just be changed because some silly president decided he's going to change laws and stuff like he's a king. We don't have a king in the United States. We just don't. We don't even have one that looks like a king. Okay, everything we do is based on the rule of law, which is my favorite thing of all times. It's just a wonderful thing. I really should have been a constitutional lawyer because I just love it. I think that's amazing to support. Yes, I think that's what we should do. And we should all send them a thank you. Whether you think they did something or not for you is irrelevant. Okay, because they've done stuff. They've done lots of stuff to enforce the laws. And they don't like it. The states don't like it because they even tried to get out of it. And I hope the states are satisfied. You see, but they're not, because now they're bitching. Because they're not going to have any money to educate children with special needs. Well, you know what? Let me let you guys in on a little secret. Before there was IDEA, kids were still getting an education. The difference is now is that we have technology on our side. Okay? We can do this. With or without the state, we can do this. I believe with all of my heart, and I had this discussion earlier this week, I think it was with Amanda, and I believe with all of my heart, like COVID and what happened with COVID, and how there were things that were positives that came out of COVID. Not diminishing anything bad, all of the bad stuff that happened, but there were things that did come out that we didn't anticipate. Well, they did, and I did. And I anticipate that there's going to be some good that's going to come out of this nonsense. It's okay to take a break from this mess. Oh, girl, I'm never going to give up. I just, every now and then, like I'm trying to do this 4 times a week. I'm trying, 4 times a month. And every now and then, you know, I need to walk away. I got other stuff I got to do. But I need to just step aside and just breathe for a few minutes. Because it does drive me, for instance, Amanda and Alma, you know, I read some of your stuff and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm a ring, hello. What they doing to you? And then you guys tell me I get mad as hell. And that's why I can't be an advocate. Because I feel that way about all of you guys. And there's just too many of you for me to get that upset. And I get upset like, if these people were standing in front of me, I just wouldn't have a problem smacking one of them. I just don't think I would have a problem doing that. And, you know, being arrested for assault, don't care, you know. But, you know, we can't push that kind of stuff nowadays because, you know, the next thing you know, I'm on a plane to El Salvador somewhere, going to prison. You don't know. So, anywho, I'm just being a brat. But we need to support the people that are supporting us. We need to let them know thank you. Okay, thank you for what you've done. Because there are too many people in our government that go unnoticed, that do so many things, and we're about to FAFO and find out exactly what all the reason why we needed all of these people in there. We're about to find out. And those morons in Congress don't give a shit. They don't. I don't care. I don't care nothing about it. They don't give a shit. They didn't. Now the states are going to find out, and the poorest states are the Republican states. El Salvador, can you imagine? I'll be starting all kind of shit in El Salvador prison. We can fight this. Let's get the guys, break it down. Oh, yeah. They come in with bullets. But anyway, anywho, the Republican states are going to be hard up because they're not getting anything and they don't have that much. The Democratic states, I've heard, are the ones that have most of the money. They have a lot of money. They're Democrats, and that's what we do. We make sure people have shit. We make sure we fight for people's rights, even if they don't live in our state. We'll help fight another state. We'll help them fight that fight. But they're the ones that are going to be hardest hit. The southern states, they're going to be hit hard. They're going to feel the pain. Let me put it that way. They're going to feel the pain, like Donald Trump said. It's going to hurt. Why is it going to hurt? I don't understand. You walked in and you just tore shit up. What the Anyway. So, I was over there. It's not funny. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, because this is going to help me to segue into Barbara. Okay. Barbara's not going to be here because I talked to her and I said, look, we need to have an agenda. We need to do this right. Thanks, mention Alma out of, I don't know what that was, Tiffany, but I guess you know what it was with Alma. But anywho, this is going to help me to help you guys segue into what Barbara's going to do a presentation. It's going to be a series because Barbara's kids are 22. And the reason why I wanted Barbara to do it is, one, I've been on Barbara's case. Her son is, I think, 24 now. I've been working with her since her kid was 12 years old. And so there's a lot of stuff that I can ask her that maybe you guys wouldn't know about. Okay, so if we didn't bring this up, because Barbara didn't know anything about this stuff that's going on right now. And the shenanigans that are going on, because I just want to tell you something right now. It's going to be the same shit with a different public agency. That's all it is, guys. It's basically going to be the same type of laws, the same protections, except instead of it being called IDEA, it's called AADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act. Okay? Oh, you've been missing the lives, girl. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out a way how to do stuff, guys. So I'm starting to get on track so that you guys will get noticed. You guys will get notices ahead of time, and so you can prepare better. Because I know, and sometimes I'm just gonna pop on. I don't care, because I love to talk. So anyway, things have been coming up regarding transition, because in some states, kids transition. I got my notice 30 minutes, right? I know. Sorry. I'll do better. But the good news is you can always go back and see it again. And just click on stuff and you write stuff. I like all of that. So anyway, I'm sorry guys, I'm being fresh. But yeah, so we're going to talk about transition. I'm going to show you some documents. I put some links in there. It's called the Transitional Assessment, the Age Appropriate Transitional Assessment Toolkit. And in that toolkit that OSEP funds, another a university, I think it's South Carolina, to do this updated all the time. It's been going on for years, and I love it. And so we're going to talk about what transition really is. We're going to talk about how you get it done, the purpose of transition, and what happens at some point in time. Is it better to file online a state complaint or a written one? It depends. I write my complaint all up first, and then when it comes to the forms online, I say see attached, and then I upload all the documents. I don't know what state you're in, Tiffany. What state are you in, honey? Massachusetts, that's another thing Massachusetts got in trouble for. Their whole PRS system of how to file a complaint. I got to go look at it because I cussed them out. Because there's nowhere on there to file a complaint online against the state. There's only options to file against the school district, which means, because if you don't do it that way, you have to do it the other way. You're in Texas. I have to look that up. Okay. But for me, straight across the board, straight across the nation, I like sending it via, online, because I got a record of it. And there's a thing that I have. I don't know if you guys are using Outlook. Outlook has this wonderful, Outlook as an email. Outlook has this wonderful thing where you send an email, but before you send it, you hit this, it says options. And then the option is you can request a read receipt. And what happens is they send you a notice when the person you sent that email to, when they actually opened it and they read it. That's why I like O's. That's why all of my, and it looks like what I did is I took all of my emails and I brought them over to Outlook. So when I send an email, it looks like the normal email, but I open it and I can send it via Outlook. It's weird. It's a weird thing. But anyway, I don't like Texas. It's not that I don't like Texas as a whole and the people. I don't like your government. I don't like DeSantis. What is it? Is it DeSantis? No, that's Florida. Who's that other idiot that's in Texas? I can't stand him either, the governor. I freaking hate him. And I don't like Ted Cruz because he's a moron pretending he's not a minority. Him and his daddy. I won't go there. I'm going to be a good girl. So anyway, so we're going to talk about transition. We're going to talk about consent too, because apparently there are some school people that believe that a 14-year-old or a minor can sign consent for their stuff to be released to other people because they're stupid, or to get an assessment because they're stupid. They're just stupid. We're going to talk about this thing called age of majority, which is also a type of consent that when your kid turns 18. Okay, it's called the age of majority. I'm going to tell you guys about that, because the age of majority is when your kid turns 18, or when your kid is about to turn 18. You have a team meeting. And there's a form that the district has to give you that is going to ask you, are you going to continue making all of the decisions for your child, your 18-year-old? Or are you and your child going to make the educational decisions together? Or is your child, your 18-year-old child, going to make all of the decisions without you? Okay, that's called the age of majority transfer of rights. Okay, that's actually law, which means no school people should be asking about a 14-year-old signing consent for anything, ever. That's a violation of her rights. And as soon as they do something that stupid and they're so brave, they're going to do it. Good, send me a copy. Send me a copy. And then let me know when you sent those records over to the doctor or some idiot. Go ahead, I dare you. Because the idiot that's getting the records that my daughter signed consent to, who's 14 years old, doesn't know that the release was signed by a 14-year-old. And that means you just jeopardize that person's license because you're stupid. Yeah. See what happens when my brain starts working, Amanda? Hey, okay. I was just talking about you. So all of this segues to the age of 22 when your kid ages out of special education. Okay, when it's official that your kid is aging out. Now, let's say your kid left school at 18. That does not mean that your kid is not able to get services from the state, like the Developmental Disabilities Services or the Department of Mental Health Services, because your kid left school at 18. Your kid still may be a person with a disability under the law. So that means your kid could be eligible for services like day programs and employment and a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to get into that, okay? Because I think a lot of you guys have kids that are coming up now. I think as educators, they signed a code of ethics with the state. When they took their certification test, in the certification, in the license, I'm going to have to beat up my guinea pigs. They're loud as hell. I don't know what they're doing in there. But anyway. They have to sign, that they're going to enforce the law. They're going to abide by the law. Okay, that's part of their certification. Okay, part of a BCBA certification is that they know that IDEA is alive and well. A psychologist knows about IDEA. Okay, as a person who is servicing children in a profession, in a discipline like psychology and a BCBA or a speech and language pathologist or whatever. When you go to school, college, you have to have courses in, the regulation. Now, it's not in depth, excuse me. For that thing to come up that straw. Anyway, it's basically, I got a code too. They ain't doing it, okay? They're not going to break the law. That's my code. When you break the law, I file against you, and then I post the shit everywhere so everybody can see how stupid you are, as soon as I win. And I normally win the argument against school people, normally. And because I back my shit up. I don't just say stuff, I back it up. So I normally win. And if I don't win with the state, then I go after the state. And then I win against the state. And then here comes OSAP after Massachusetts. See, that's how it works. I never seen an educator follow. Oh, God, no. BCBAs don't either. Do you know I was 99%, I kid you not, guys, I was 99% done with my master's degree in a specialization in applied behavior analysis. 99% done. I had one, I was on my capstone. And I was about to quit. I was about to quit school. And if it wasn't for my girl Leanne and a couple of professors at Capella, I don't even know how to say the stupid school's name, I would have quit. Because at the time I was dealing with Barbara stuff, and he turned 22 and he needed services, and it was like, we were in a hearing at the time, and I was telling my professor, look at this, this is ridiculous. And she said, that's not the way you're supposed to do it. And she was right. And what I did is I filed for a hearing, and I nailed that pompous ass of a BCBA. And she got told by the hearing officer, she told the school district, not only are you doing the FBA over, not only are you going to do it in the community, but you're also going to go get the same twit that wrote this one, because she wanted to skip it. Even after we told her that was the whole purpose of getting it, because we wanted to know his behaviors in the community. What we wanted to know what those target behaviors were. And they didn't want to do it because they know they screwed up. So they didn't want it in writing. Which is why I know, Amanda, what that chick is trying to do. It's because of what happened with Barbara that I'm hip to what she's doing. And now she's trying to deny it. Okay, she's trying to deny. And my shit too. Yes, yeah, exactly. It was. I almost quit school behind these idiots. And then I thought to myself, I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. My capstone, I aced. And my capstone was behavior intervention. I got an A on writing a behavior intervention plan for a kid. Hypothetical one. I got an A. And I got an A in ethics in my bachelor's degree and in my master's. I had to take two, because one was for the BCBA. BACB, I mean. Yeah, you need to snap out of it, because this ain't changing. And that's the other lesson that my goal is to teach you guys, that if you know you're going to be in your kid's life until forever, you gotta know, and you gotta be prepared for the fact that it's going to be the same shit, but with a different public agency and with different laws. It's going to be the same shit. I'm telling you right now. Everything that I go through with Barbara is the exact same poo-poo caca that I've been going through since I met her with her kid. It's about meetings. It's about protections. It's about evaluations. It's about consent. All the time it's about consent. Okay? All the time. It's awful. The stuff that, it's all this, because all of these protection laws are based on protections. Like it's based on what is it? OCR, discrimination laws, because ADA and IDEA are discrimination laws. Okay, so they're protections for people with disabilities. Okay, that's what they are. IDEA and under the Americans with Disabilities Act. That's what those are. They're all protections. Every single one of those laws is to protect the person with a disability. Nobody gives a shit about the school or the agency or the licensed program. Nobody cares about their rights. They don't have any rights. Their job, there's no rights. Their job is to care for your adult child. That's their job. Their job is to make sure they're safe, that they're fed and they're clothed and they're taken care of. That's their job. It's their only job. They don't do nothing else. They don't do nothing else. What do you think about OCR? I hate them. I think they're stupid. There's been too many times that the government has come after them, saying that when the Office of Inspector Generals did an audit on them, that they came back and found that they were throwing out cases that was in their jurisdiction. They just didn't want to do them. The DC office, they were just throwing out stuff. I don't like them. I mean, there's so much stuff you have to do to prove discrimination. It's disgusting. And I don't think the people that work there know what discrimination actually is. They don't know against a person with a disability. I truly believe that with all my heart. In Ohio, when my niece was little, my sister called me. She told me there was some crap going on at her school. Well, where she lived, we found out was very segregated. Now, segregation is against the law. You can't have a segregated school. Okay? I can't, but Amanda says, I can't believe how lazy their lawyers are. It's ridiculous. Lazy and stupid. I'm gonna beat that damn guinea pig. I'm gonna beat her. I'm just gonna take her. The school district probably laughed every time I said that when my kids were in elementary school. What, they're stupid and ridiculous? Yes. They're stupid. And that's that. I guess my goal as an advocate is to boost you guys up so that, one, in your gut, if you feel they're wrong, 99% of the time, I got to tell you, they're wrong and you're right. The difference is you guys don't know the law. And that's why you can't fight them, because they'll just keep fighting that stupid fight. Right, Amanda? They'll just keep fighting the stupid fight. Right, Barbara? I mean, the shit that comes out of their mouth is unbelievable. For instance, okay, let's talk about transition for Barbara's kid. Barbara's kid, one of the issues is he's been in a residential program for now 3 years. It's going to be 3 years, I believe, in July. When he went in, the biggest thing Barbara wanted was for her kid to be in a day program. So they said, oh, yes, we're going to do that right away. Blah, blah, blah. So the first ISP meeting, which is the equivalent to an IEP, they said, well, we want him to get acclimated to the program before we go look for a day program for him. Okay, fine. All right. A year went by. First of all, we didn't get his ISP for 10 months. We're supposed to get it in 30 days. First of all, the State Department that was under their jurisdiction as a developmental person, they dropped the ball, didn't look for a program for a residential or nothing for him. Okay. For 6 months, they knew when he was going to turn 22. They have known about this kid since he was a baby, that he was going to turn 22 on this day. They knew it. They did nothing. He was in a private school. They did nothing. So I got into a big argument with the head honcho over there. And I called him up on the phone and I said to him, I want you to listen to me very carefully. He's not going home. He cannot go home. And you know why. But you think you're going to force this anyway? Let me tell you what I'm going to do. Because you're stupid. And I told him that, because you're stupid. What I'm going to do is, you tell that stupid Evergreen Incorporated friggin' school that didn't do anything with them but babysit for 4 years and paid $1 million in 4 years for this kid, $250,000 a year. And he can't put on his own pants. And there's no reason why. His arms and legs and fingers, everything works well. They didn't bother. So all of these private schools, no. And one of the reasons why Massachusetts got in trouble is because of the emails. Well, some of the emails that I sent to OSEP about the failure of the Pembroke Public School District to monitor Evergreen Inc. School regarding this kid. Oh, yeah. It was bad. It was real bad. And that's why they got in trouble for private schools not being monitored. I was one of those people. I was one of the stakeholders, that got them in trouble for that. The enforcers are us, honey. I don't know how many times we got to tell you this, but if you think what we've been going through all of this time, every time you fight back, you're demonstrating that you are the enforcer. When you file a complaint, that means you're the enforcer, Alma. Okay? I believe and hope that soon more parents wake up from this gas. I know, right, girl? They will eventually. People will, but I need your help because this is fun and easy for me. I'm not kidding. This is fun and easy for me because I know the regulations, and every day I learn a new one. Like I just learned one today, thanks to Amanda, where the stupid school district was telling her that they can have her daughter. First of all, let me just okay. The reason why the school district needs a consent form signed is because consent is voluntary. It's not mandatory. You see, if it was mandatory that the school district released those school records, they could have just released them to anybody they want. They don't need consent to do anything. So by the very nature of the word consent, you need consent, means that they don't have that power and authority to just go willy-nilly releasing people's records. And the only way you can get the records is for the person that you want to release the records from or their parents sign the consent for you to do so. You're the enforcer. They can't do nothing without you. And you don't have to sign consent. That means you don't have to sign consent. You don't have to sign consent. You have to understand this, people. Just because those morons ask you to do stuff doesn't mean you do it. You don't do it. I'll punch you. I'll punch you. Can you proofread the complaint before we submit it? I don't want to. I don't want to. If you look at my videos and you do what I told you to do, you'll be okay. And you go fill out that form. The form that I have to do a complaint, I've had people tell me that it worked perfectly, that it was so easy to use. Go use it. Let me tell you why, Tiffany. This is too sweet. Let me tell you why. The reason why I can't do it is because what's going to happen is I'm going to get your complaint. I'm going to review it. And then I'm going to tear it apart and do it my way. And that means I'm doing your complaint for you. I don't want to. You have to do it. Yes. I've tried that. You really don't want to. The best learning tool, yes. Thank you. You have to do it yourself. Listen, you're going to do it. You're not going to hit every mark, honey. You're just not. And that's the point. But let me tell you something. It's a lesson that can be learned. You can get taught. Let me tell you something, you guys. You think I learned this stuff because I'm such a smart person? No. I went through trial and error just like you guys are doing. Yes, you need to practice. But let me tell you what I did learn. So every time I filed a complaint and I didn't win, what I did learn, and I won, is that I learned the laws that the state is relying on to prove their position. Okay? So the state does an investigation on the school district. You say they denied FAPE because they didn't evaluate your kid in all areas of suspected disability, and you want them to do the assessments. Okay, fine. So you prove it. And then they come back and say, well, the parent signed this consent, and that's all she did. Yeah, but that consent, and that's what the school districts do. Like, they rely on the document that you signed. But here's the thing. The law is clear about the areas upon which the district must evaluate. It's all areas of suspected disability. Okay, so let's look at it. So your kid is failing math. So the school, yes, right. Mediation too, that's right. So your kid's failing math, and the school district did a WISC-5, which is, and it only gives broad scores in math. But they got your kid in geometry. Ring a bell to anybody? They got your kid in geometry, but the testing demonstrates that your kid does not know how to add and subtract double digits, doesn't know how to multiply double digits, doesn't know how to divide, and doesn't know the concept of division. So how was your kid in geometry then? That means the district didn't evaluate in all areas of suspected disability. And the law is clear. It says comprehensive evaluations. Do you understand? It says comprehensive evaluation. It doesn't say do the easiest one possible so that you guys can get off. It doesn't say that in the law. It's okay. I'm going to get another chance. That's right. Always, always, always. You see, you learn from it's not even a mistake. You don't know. You don't know. What I'm telling you guys, this is what you do. You get you a nice binder and you write complaints on it. And you get some nice file folders, okay? Some tabs with some tabs on it. And what you do is you file the complaint, okay? And when you get the findings, you put those findings in between. You put those findings right next to underneath your complaint, okay? You put a tab between the two. So you would write, say April 2025, and then 60 days from now you write April 2025 complaint, and then the next tab, when you get the findings, you would write June 2025 findings, okay? And then if they give you a number, attach the number. So now you have both of these things together, okay? So here's the trick. One, you need to make sure that the state investigated all of your allegations, because if they didn't, that's a violation against the state. And I got Massachusetts on this so many times, it's disgusting. I mean, it's bad. It's really, really bad. They're stupid. I get them all the time. And when I got that January thing, I sent them an email and I told them off. And I said, I told you I was right, you dumb shits. I told you I was right. And I said that everybody who did an investigation, all of the people who did investigations, and then I attached the January 16th findings from OSAP. That's what I did, because they're no good. So I took their face and I rubbed it in the pee. That's what I did. You have to understand that you are the enforcer, that you have power. You have a lot of power. You just don't know. And the reason why you think you don't know is, one, you're letting them intimidate you because they have degrees and stuff. You know what? That degree ain't worth the paper it's written on, because they're stupid. And they're not using any of their skills that they learned in school, their training, to help a kid with a disability. They're not doing that. Instead, they're worried about their raggedy ass piece of shit paycheck. Okay? That's what they're worried about. And they're lazy. They don't want to do that much work. They just don't. And they like to make it so that their problems are your responsibilities. And what I say is, please, make that my problem. Let me show you how I resolve it real quick. Timmy, but stings like hell when they come back with their, I know, honey, I know it does. And you see what I did, right? Go reread what I did, okay? And look how I chopped her up into little teeny tiny pieces. She looks like an idiot. You don't know how stupid she looks? She looks so stupid, you know, she doesn't know she looks stupid, right? She still thinks she's smart. You know when it's really going to kill her? When you take all of those emails and you combine them and make a complaint and you send it with all the evidence. And then one of the remedies that you're going to have is that bitch gets trained. And that you want to know every single law that she violated, you want her to be trained on. Everything. Because if she does it again, then you can go after the state and say you didn't monitor the school district because she did it again. And then you send that one to OSAP. And you say they're doing the same thing Massachusetts did. That's why I sent that to you too. And that's why I sent it to her. So I use what happened in Massachusetts against her. That's why she's dancing all around. And that's not the only one. You should see what they're doing at Barbara's thing for the transition. You wouldn't believe the nonsense that's going on over there. It's crazy. Exactly, that's right. I tell them all the time, all you did is trade time for, that's all they do. It's just about a paycheck for them. But like I tell you guys all the time, I'll make you care. I'll make you care about each and every kid that I tell the parents what to do. I will make you care. Believe that. And it's going to sting even worse because I can tag them real quick. And I'm going to teach you how to do it. It's not that. You guys have to get out of your head. You have to get out of your head a little bit. Okay? You have to think to yourself and say, okay, let's do this. My kid's going to turn 22. Okay? My kid is going to get insurance, state insurance, because my kid doesn't have any money. 22, can't support himself, and that kid has a disability. There are state agencies for that. So what do I have to do? What do I have to do? You have to sit down and you have to do investigations as to what's available for your kid when your kid turns 22. Okay? Now, between now and the time your kid turns 22, the school district is responsible for helping your kid to transition. And the whole thing about transition and the public school system is to help your kid with skills that makes him as independent as possible. Say, that's the purpose of transition. Let me show you. Let me show you what the law says. Okay? And then you'll understand. You go, oh, that's not the law. Wrong one. That's okay. So, one, two, 34 CFR 300 Okay. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, okay, let's do this again. Wait a minute, guys. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. Here. Where the hell is it? Okay, wait, I gotta stop it. Stop screen share. Oh, I know what I did. I moved it. Over there. Over there. Now to screen share. Okay, this is the law that talks about transition. Okay, and then I'm going to show you another document that will tell you. Okay. Transition. So this is what the school district has to do. This is what. This doesn't tell you the year. I don't understand. Okay. Okay. There's another law that talks about when this is supposed to take place. Okay. But for right now, let's talk about what transition really is. But the SEA was kind of dicks. He said we'll make them X, Y, and Z, and they have to sign it. What? I don't know what you're talking about, honey. But the SEA, I've gone over this about 5 times, and I keep looking at my daughter's transition plan. I know everything's messing. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just get you in a little secret. Yeah, they don't do them right at all, ever. They never do them right. They don't. I mean, I've had so many arguments with these. I've sent them the age-appropriate transition assessment toolkit. I've sent it to them. They don't care. They're stupid. I sent it with Barbara like 4 times. That woman, Jessica Duncanson, she was a sped director over there at the Pembroke Public School District. She's stupid. She just doesn't care. It's not even. It's beyond stupid. They just don't care. Okay, they're the type of people, I believe, that if they saw somebody in pain on the ground, rolling around, they would just step over them. They would step over them and keep walking. That's the kind of people they are. You're not stupid, ever. You're not stupid. They're stupid. They're gaslighting you people. You need to stop and just listen to your heart, your gut, and all you got to do is say, Timmy, what law? And I'll show it to you. You come here and you tell me, Timmy, what law does this protect me from this, this, and this? And I will show you. And all you have to do is take all of these laws, okay? I'll show you where to go get them. I think the big piggy is trying to do the little piggy. Again, I don't understand. They're just horny toads. They're both girls. Oh, I don't. Anyway, that's why you hear them in the background. So anyway, you're not stupid. Nobody I know is stupid. Keep it simple. Elementary. That's right. They actually told me transitional goals do not have to be. I know. You told me that before. I'm going to show you where it is. Watch. First of all, transition goes in the IEP, and therefore that makes it measurable. They're stupid. Okay, that IEP is a hot mess. I'll fix it. I'll show you what to do. Okay, so transition means a coordinated set of activities for a child with a disability that is designed to be within a results-oriented process that is focused on improving the academic and functional achievement of the child with a disability to facilitate the child's movement from school to post-school activities, including post-secondary education, vocational education, integrated employment, including supported employment, continuing and adult education, adult services, independent living, or community participation. Let's break that down. That's heavy. Okay. So I don't know about you guys. Okay, but when I was in school, we had what's called a guidance counselor. So when you hit high school, the guidance counselor would sit down and say, so what do you want to do when you get out of school? What's your goals? What do you want to do? And you would say something like, I want to be a hairdresser. Okay. So what, or I want to go to college. So what the guidance counselor would do is guide you into getting as much information about that particular thing so that you could make an educated decision, such as like if they said, well, what college would you want to go to? And you tell them the name of the college. And back in the day when I was doing it, you literally had to contact the college on the phone, talk to the admissions office. And then you find out information. So what that's doing is helping you, one, to be a responsible adult for yourself, and to go and research what you need to make your goals happen. Now, I was a typical kid. It's pretty easy for me. So when the teacher told me that, and then they told me, so what do I have to do? Well, to get to the college, you have to take your SATs, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to fill out the application. Then I find out, because I was poor, I found out that, these applications, they had, what do you call them? Admissions fee you had to pay, application, for the thing to go in. And they had a thing where if you were poor, you got it waived. So you didn't, because it was 25, because when you're in high school, your guidance counselor is telling you things like you want to apply to as many colleges as you can, because you can get this and this and this and this. And it could cost anywhere from here to here, depending on the college you went to. So the guidance counselor was guiding me. Okay? Let's start at the office of, there's no more. Okay? There's no more inspector generals. That fool fired them all. Fired all of them. There's no more. Right now, there are no more Office of Inspector General. Okay? The only thing that I would suggest is send it to the, just wait, you guys. Just wait on the big stuff. Let's get through and see what's going to happen with all the nonsense that's going on right now. But right now, there are no more Office of Inspector Generals. Donald Trump fired all of them. I can find out. There's one guy in Massachusetts that I knew, and I can find out if he's still open. But there were like 12, I think. Look. I'll find out right now. How many Office of Inspector are there? 74. Okay. Overseeing, and they are responsible for overseeing various federal agencies, ensuring transparency and accountability. There were 74, and I think Donald Trump fired all of them. Okay, let me just double check that. Did Trump fire the Office of, I know he did, Inspector Generals. Yes. He fired the watchdog group. President nominates IGs and cabinets. Yes, he fired them. He fired all of them. So, there's not. No, I know. No resource after that. There's not. There's no oversight on these state agencies, which is, it makes sense. If your administration is hell-bent on eliminating all agencies, well, if you're going to eliminate all of the agencies, then What do you need inspector generals for? What are they overseeing? They're not overseeing anything. So it would stand to reason that they would get rid of them too. Okay? My problem is, I don't know what they think, but I'm never paying federal taxes. If there's no state agents, no federal agencies that are overseeing these states, what am I paying federal taxes for? I will make sure that every single time I have to pay taxes, I'm going to send it to I'm calling Shapiro's office, and I'm going to say, well, I'll just send you my federal taxes. Because I'm not paying them. It's taxation without representation. That was part of the Revolutionary goddamn War. Boston Tea Party. Anyway, I digress. So that's what a typical kid is supposed to be going through in school. They don't even do that now with the typical kids, helping them find their way through life and, getting prepared. I told you. So this right here, okay? So a coordinated set of activities, okay? So the activities is referring to evaluations, okay? That will help your kid to either get a job, go to, because there's lots of kids with disabilities that can go to college, to get employment, okay? Yes, all right? So the book that I'm going to show you guys, well, you're going to get the link, okay, that I already put in here in the chat. You can get the link. Just copy and paste that into your browser, and it'll take you there, okay? So what we have to do is we have to find out what your kid wants to do when they leave school, if your kid can tell us, okay? Now, let's say your kid can't, like Barbara's kid can't, but Barbara knows. Barbara has guardianship. So what Barbara's thing would be is the part about adult services, okay? So the other part of transition is the agencies that are involved or that should be involved with your child and with you so that they can tell you what's available, okay? There's this thing in Massachusetts, it's called a 688. And what they do is they take your kid's records and they send it to all of the various agencies, the Department of Mental Health, the Department of Public Health, the Department of Developmental Services. They send them to all of the human service agencies so that they can determine which one of those agencies your kid would fall into, okay? So this is what has to be done, all right? And then community participation. So when you get all of these assessments done, the assessments are, okay, there's an assessment called ONET, okay? And ONET is designed, it's by the Department of Labor, and ONET is a free assessment that your kid can take, and it's online. And what it does is it helps. Thank you. We need more moms. That's right. That's right, Alma. Thanks, girl. Alma, see, I'm gonna punch you. These people have to come to your kid's team meeting on transition, okay? So what you have to do is you have to say, well, part of the transition is, well, if they did it for Amanda, for instance, they did your kid's transition and they said they don't need goals and objectives. Okay, so let's look at this. So the second part of the law says is based on the individual needs, taking into account the children's strengths, preferences, and interests. That's what a lot of the assessments are, like the transitional assessment. If you go look in that book, it'll tell you. If they don't address this, Amanda, you say, so what are my kid's strengths in the transitional assessment? What did you even ask my kid what she wanted to do when she grows up? Her preferences? What is she interested in? Did you ever ask her? And the answer to all of those three questions is no, we never asked her because we're just not going to do it. That's a violation. It's a violation. Okay, and includes, okay, preferences, strengths, preferences, and interests, and includes instruction, related services, community experiences, the development and employment of other post-adult living and blah, 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 adult living objective, and if appropriate, acquisition of daily living skills, which is what Barbara's kid needed. Okay? Transition services for children with disabilities may be special education, if provided as specially designed instruction or related. So here, Amanda. Okay, specially designed instructions has goals and objectives and are measurable. They're relying on that because there is something in the law that says it doesn't have to be measurable. Okay, so let's do that. But how are you going to make sure that my kid can do this? Any of this? Okay, so now let's go look at another law. I think it's 34. It has to do with the IEP. Okay, let's see, it's down here somewhere. It says transition. Transition. Okay. This is, let me show you what 320 is. Definition of an IEP, Amanda. I know it's missing. I already knew that. Okay. So you tell those idiots that under the definition of an IEP, you guys missed the boat because part of developing an IEP includes transition. And then you can send them this. Okay. Beginning not later than the first IEP to be in effect when the child turns 16 or younger if determined appropriate by the team and updated annually thereafter. Okay. Now, here's the trick. See where it says 16? In Massachusetts, it's 14. Okay. I think, Amanda, you said in Illinois, it's 13. So you have to go look up in your state what the transition age is in your state, okay? It could be anything, but it's got to start at 16. So if they haven't done transition services for your kid and your kid's 16 or 17 or 18 or 19 and they haven't done that's a violation. File against them. 14 and a half. Yep, see what it says? It says 16. So the state can create a law or a regulation that's better than IDEA, but not more restrictive than IDEA. So being able to do the transition services at 14 and a half is giving the school and your kid more time to transition. Okay. So instead of only being 16, now your kid gets 2 extra years for the transition planning. Okay. So that's a good thing. All right. Now it says, here it is right here. Transition not beginning or younger and update annually after thereafter. The IEP must include that. Appropriate measurable post-secondary goals based upon age-appropriate transition assessments related to training, education, employment, and where appropriate, independent living skills. See? They lied. There's your thing right there, Amanda. They lied. The transition services, including courses of study, needed to assist the child in reaching those goals. That's what the IEP goals and objectives say. So when they say that to you, you tell them to go look at, here it is right here. Okay? Transition. Individual. What is the name of this? What's this law? The definition of an IEP. And that's all you have to say, Amanda. Just say, you better go look up the definition of an IEP because guess what's in it? Transition. And it speaks to measurable goals. (34 CFR 300.320). Okay. They start, what is it? They start CBI community-based instruction too late at 18. Well, you can do it earlier. So now you know. Okay, Tiffany? Now you know. Okay, and here it is right here, girlfriend. Okay, so transition includes measurable post-secondary goals based upon age-appropriate transition assessments related to training, education, employment, and where appropriate, independent living skills. That's the AFLs waiting to happen right there. That's what it is. So what you have to do is force the AFLs. And if you can get the AFLs done, it'll answer all of those questions, and you get it done 4 times in 1 year. That's what you do. And you tell the school district, if you don't do it, I'm going to get somebody that will do it, and then I'm going to file against you. CBI, I think that's community-based. What is that? Community-based services, Tiffany. And guess what, guys? Here we go. Transfer of rights at the age of majority. Amanda. I know, and they don't do anything but. Oh, I know, and that you can't just do one set. You can't do one set. Yeah, instruction, community-based instruction. You can force the issue with these laws, though. Okay, you can force it. Okay, so the transfer of rights at the age of majority is 18. Beginning not later than 1 year before the child reaches the age of majority under state law. The IEP must include a statement that the child has been informed of the child's rights under Part B of the Act, if any, that will transfer to the child on reaching majority. Okay, so every state has this. Now in Massachusetts, they actually have a form that says the age of majority. Okay, yeah, that is exactly what the GPT chat. Yeah, okay, good. That's another thing. GPT chat, people, if you want to find some information, you just go in there. You write in age of majority idea, and it'll give you the law. Okay? I know, girl. Friggin' love it. Best information I ever had. Okay? So now you understand what the what transition means. Okay? So now what we're going to do, I want to show you. Okay. I'm going to do this. I'm going to change. How did I do it before? Okay, so now I'm going to do this. Oh, it won't do it. I don't know why. Oh, let's see. I think they do it right here. Age. Okay. Okay. So, see this right here? When you're looking for the age-appropriate toolkit, because this is a PDF file, when you're looking for it, you want this right here, NTAC, okay? It's the National Technical Assistance Center on Transition. That's the website you want, okay? So, it's the 4th edition. Okay, check this out, guys. This is so fucking cool. Here it is. It literally tells you what a transition assessment is. Okay? Division on Career Development and Transition of the Council for Exceptional Children defines transition assessment as an ongoing process of collecting data on the individual needs, preferences, and interests as they relate to the demands of current and future working, educational, living, and personal and social environments. Guess what, Amanda? All you have to do is say, copy and paste this right here. Okay? You tell those bastards you want the AFLs done on your kid. And it's an ongoing process. So that's what you tell them. Transition assessments are an ongoing process of collecting data on the individual needs. Yada, yada, yada. That's a citation if they don't do it. The BCBA asked me, how did I know that the AFLs has to be... Did you tell her? Yeah. Has to be done. It's useless as just one time a year. Okay? Because we're not showing the progress. They're not showing us where the progress is. Okay? Alma, you too. If you don't do it every quarter, okay, then it's never done. Now that information is a year old. So when you go back, they had a whole year to fix it now. And so now it's the AFLS is designed to be done 4 times in 1 year. And it's designed that way. And that's why your kid is named on that book. Okay? I just pray, God, that this channel is here. Oh, God, yes, girl. Thank you. Thank you very much. I know this much. I ain't never taken down the videos that I have up. So that'll always be there. I even helped a parent in Canada tonight using the GPT. Oh, GPT chat. One of my parents told me about that. And at first I was skeptical and I just didn't want to do it. And then she said, Tammy, I'm telling you, once you start using this, you're never going to want to stop. You're just not going to want to stop. And it's true. And these people don't know what to do with me because the cool thing about the AI Pro, I have AI Pro GPT chat. And they can't argue with me. But it's garbage in, garbage out. You have to know what you're talking about when you're using it because otherwise it's going to look like word salad. Okay? So you have to know what they're asking you. You have to know how to put it together. And one day I'm going to show you how I do it because I love doing it. So anyway. So that's what this is. So it's an ongoing, that's why it starts at 16. It doesn't end at 16. It continues. It's an ongoing process. Okay? So I don't know what's wrong with these people. They're just fucking stupid. And they don't care. Okay? Assessment data serve as the common thread in the transition process and form the basis for defining goals and services to be included in the IEP. It's right there, honey. See, this is what I do, guys. I take information like this and I copy and paste it like in my complaint. And I say shit like, the district failed to conduct transition assessment, which is an ongoing process of collecting data on the individual's needs. Once you frame it like that, they're screwed. Do you understand they're screwed? Because that's how you prove they didn't do their job. And every quarter that they don't do the assessment, you nail them. You say, no, they're not. That's another thing. They have to do the evaluation the way the developer designed the evaluation, the assessment to be administered. They don't get to take one piece and say, and you know what's really sad? Like, Amanda, your BCBA knew that. Do you know how many BCBAs pretend they didn't know that? They didn't know that it was every quarter. Because they're no good. They're no good. Because what they don't want you to see is that where they didn't do, that's why I love the AFLS, because the AFLS not only shows you where the kid is, where the kid may need extra help, it also shows you, it also tells you how to write the goals and objectives and how many times and all of that. It's all in the it's all in the AFLS. What you need is it has the goals, it has the task, it has the criteria, it has everything you need to write the IEP. How will you know the kid met this goal? It's just amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite tool. I can use it on any kid too. Because the AFLS can be done on anybody. An adult, a little kid, anybody. It can be done on anybody. Because of the way it's designed. Okay? Federal law, here it is, requires appropriate measurable goals based on age-appropriate transition. This is what you tell those stupid people, Amanda. Okay? About the IEP. When you file the complaint, this highlighted stuff, not that second sentence, but that whole thing right there is how you get them on the transition. That right there. Okay? It has the laws. It has the IEP. It has everything in there that you need to tell them what they didn't do. The district didn't do this. And then you quote it. That's what you do. And then you cite the age appropriate. Questionnaire. What are you talking about? My BCBA, like I said, she was a torture. I love her. She beat me to death with it. That's good. Oh, screenshots have been taken. Okay. I'm going to send you the whole thing because you ain't seen nothing yet. There's all kinds of assessments. The names of the assessments are in this thing. That's why I tell you the toolkit is phenomenal. It breaks down everything. okay? How? So here, look, for instance, here's one right here. They give you examples of popular formal assessments include the Myers-Briggs type indicator form, self-directed search forms. It tells you the name of the freaking thing. It tells you. Okay? It breaks down the difference between an informal and a formal assessment. Okay? It tells you how, it explains it. If you want to know what it's all about, it explains what a transitional assessment is and what the purpose is for the assessments. What is the purpose? Okay? Now, you don't have to read all of this, but why, and even ask the question, why conduct a transitional assessment? Okay? Several reasons. These reasons include to develop post-secondary goals. What? Yeah. And related transition services and annual goals and objectives for the transition component of the IEP. To make instructional programming decisions. This is what they didn't do. Because they didn't do the first part, Amanda, that means they didn't do this part either. You can get them on that. And the whole thing, Amanda, is that the IEP is not reasonably calculated to address your kid's unique needs. That's how you go after the IEP. Because, listen guys, when they don't do the appropriate evaluations, when they do not evaluate in all areas of suspected disability, and that doesn't mean, well, the mother didn't tell us, so we didn't do it. No, you're the freaking school district. You're supposed to, you're telling me you're so stupid you don't know what assessments? Good, I'll tell you what assessments to do. How about that? I got a lot of assessments. I'll tell you the assessments, the definition, the areas. Oh, you want to play? Let's rock and roll. I knew it was going to be a ripple. Oh, God. And that's a good example. It is a ripple effect. When they violate this, they violate all that. So now the IEP ain't no good. It ain't worth the paper it's written on. Your daughter's 14. Okay? So it doesn't have her interests or preferences and the needs in the IEP. In addition, transition assessment is an excellent way to learn about the individual student, especially their strengths outside of academics and career ambitions. When you do the ONET, you'll see that the ONET is about what your kid is gravitating to, or what area would your kid want to be. If your kid is able to take any of these assessments, it might just be daily living skills, but it'll tell you, the ONET and other assessments like the AFLs will tell you what needs to be worked on for your kid to leave school. Your kid, at some point in time, there may come a point in time where you don't need any more education. I had to tell Barbara that. I wanted to smack her. Her kid didn't need to learn how to read now. What she needed to learn is the signs for safety. She needed to know what they look like. Could she identify them? She needed safety reading, okay? There's certain things she didn't need to know how to read a book anymore. There comes a point where we're done with that. We're way past it. So let's teach her this. And it was a fight with these people. But to some degree, she got more out of the school than her brother did. Brother didn't get nothing. Yeah, it's bad. In addition, transition assessment is an excellent way to learn about the individual. Okay. And one of the things is to help the student learn about themselves. That's what the ONET is about. And other assessments, like the AFLs, is to teach them, this is where your weaknesses are. Let's get your weaknesses up to your strengths. Okay. They told me that I did not specify. I know. That's okay. They're full of shit. Okay, it's not your job. I want it all. Now you know. Now I want all of them. Oh, you want to play that game? Good. I'll remember that. You tell that stupid BCBA when I report this to the BACB. How about I do that? How about I tell the BACB what you just told me? Did you put it in writing? Please tell me. Oh, you recorded it. Good. There was nothing mentioned about teaching her how to use a Dept. Yeah, that's banking. That's independent living. Yes. That's why I love the AFLs. Amanda, I don't know if you know this, but you can purchase the AFL books. They're like $45, right? I don't know if you saw that the last time. But I put them up there and I looked them up and they're cheap. That whole set I got, each book is $44. You need them all, but you can focus in on certain ones. Like school activities and community participation, vocational school. Oh no, you didn't see that? Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, Barbara is, I mean, I'm telling you, I feel, I yell at her sometimes, but I feel bad for Barbara, because the reason why Barbara is so upset all the time is because Barbara knows too much. And now, that shit can be overwhelming, and it can break you. You don't know what to do. But then I tell her all the time, I ain't going nowhere, stupid. Shut up. Shut up. So as you can see in here, how do I select instruments and methods? Okay. So it tells you this, I'm telling you, if your kid is anywhere near 60, whether your law says they need to do this or not, you still need to know what this is, because you can get in front of it. You can get the AFLs done, and you tell them, I want all of these done. Okay? I want all of them. And Alma, you tell that stupid BCBA, oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed that memo where it said the BCBA who's doing the functional behavioral assessment or the AFLs, I need to tell you what to do? I didn't know that. Well, girl, this is what I want you to do then. How about that? Now what? Now what? Because what you have to do is tell them, well, good. Because here's the problem for you, BCBA. You did not evaluate in all areas of suspected disability, which means because so that you're making your responsibility my job. Because what you assumed, what she wanted you to believe, she didn't know that you knew about all those books. That's what it was. That's what it was. You said you wanted the AFLs. The AFLs is a set of books. The AFLs is a set of books. So what are you talking about? I did tell you. That's what you're talking. I know what you're talking about. There's nothing in here that says I have to identify the book and the AFLs. Where does it say that? I said I wanted the AFLs, plural. That's what you're telling. Because if I move, okay, I'm gonna get on it probably quicker, because if I move, I'm fucked. All that shit's fucked up. It's okay. Stop. I'm not telling you guys this stuff to piss you off. Okay. Fight Illinois, Florida. Yeah. Great. Okay, good. I'm glad I cracked you up. Okay, so this is what you guys have to do. Okay. If your kid is anywhere near see what I'm talking about? Let me just check on one of these. Let me see. Career cruising. I had a kid that did this one. Let me see. It is still here. Oh my God, it's still here. Okay, so you can click on these links. These are assessments. Okay, you can go in and see what they are. I think they are. Wait a minute. A possible downside is that these resources may lack independent reviews of their utility, reliability, or validity for youth with disability, but some have technical manuals with useful background information. Okay, I can tell you which ones to do. Career cruising I did with a kid in Massachusetts. That was pretty good, but all he kept doing, because he's a little brat, he kept hitting the button. So it really wasn't very helpful. So, but wait a minute, there are more in here. Okay, here's another one. Okay, this guidance counselor given their working knowledge of regional colleges. Yeah, right. See, this is what I'm talking about. The guidance counselors in the school are supposed to know this stuff, and they don't. The CAP test, the college board. So there's that. There's more. Way more. Wait a minute. I'm going to find some for you guys. I love this thing. What is it doing? Okay. Sample instruments. Sample instruments. Those are the testing instruments. Okay. This is where I wanted you to pay attention. Informal transition assessment methods, interviews and questionnaires. They do that all the time. Okay. So you can do a dream sheet, career preferences. This isn't really an assessment. It's a questionnaire to find out, gathering. It's data collection is what it really is. Okay. It's an assessment, but it's really data collection. Okay. See, it is. An important part of this data collection process involves gathering information about a student and their family's current and future resources. See, I was right. So that's what career preferences, dream sheets, transition planning inventory. Yeah, updated version. Okay. And then task analysis. Let me see. Task analysis. Open. Where is that? Where'd it go? Stupid. Oh, I want to open it. It won't open. Okay. A task analysis is like you tell the kid, I want you to go make a peanut butter sandwich. Now think about all of the steps that a person needs to do in order to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Okay, let's think about it. Okay, so the first thing, a task analysis is writing down everything. Okay, wait a minute. Direct of the student performance should be conducted within a natural scope. Okay, so let's say you do it in the kitchen. This is for adult for independent living skills. Okay, sometimes called situational assessment. Okay. So a task analysis is a direct observation data, typically includes task analytical data of steps in completing required tasks, folding laundry, sorting mail, work behavior. Okay, so it lists it. Okay, good. So an example of task analysis observation, a direct observation by a BCBA is you want to know if your kid can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay? So what you do is you think about all of the stuff that your kid needs to do. So what's the first thing they need to do? What do you need? Bread. Where's the bread? Bread's in the cabinet. Get the bread. You want to see what your kid can do on his own from start to finish. So the kid walks into the kitchen. You tell the kid to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay? You know the steps. Don't tell him anything. Okay? Now, every time you have to tell him something, you got to write that down and say, he didn't know he needed the bread. So you have a task analysis sheet on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The first step is get the bread. Where's the bread? The bread's in the cabinet. Put the bread, get the bread out of the cabinet. Put the bread on the counter. Okay. Then what else do you need? You need peanut butter and jelly. You get the bread and you get the peanut butter and the jelly, both of those jars, out of the kitchen cabinet, or the jelly out of the refrigerator if it's already been opened. Okay. Then what do you have to do? Well, you need a dish. Okay, so you got to get a dish. You open up, and now you got to open up the bread, and you got to put the bread on the dish. Then you need a knife to spread the peanut butter on a slice of bread. So that's what it's like. Okay, that's what a task analysis is, and that's what you want to find out if your kid knows how to do it. That's why the AFOS is great. One of the assessments is home skills. Yeah, goes into that. Okay. So there's a link here. I don't know why it's open. Open link. I don't know why it's not opening. Copy link. Okay, let me do it this way. I want to see if it's in here. Oh, I don't know what it's doing. I'm not doing that. I don't like that. But I can show you what a task analysis is. I had to do one for school. What? Okay. But in here, it tells you what a task analysis is, and it's a direct observation of what your kid can do. Okay? So it's all of the steps to do a particular task. That's what amounts. Where does your kid end up needing help? So if you have to tell your kid from the giddy up, yeah, that's right. I think Ethan took the cap. Okay. So you have the list, and in that list you figure out where the kid hit the wall, and you have to show him everything. Okay. That's where your kid needs to be taught how to do something. Okay. I'm just looking curricular-based assessments. These are all of the assessments that you can get done. And you can ask them for, okay? It's the life skills, Brigance. Brigance is good. Transition life skills. These are all good things. Anything that says Brigance in here is good. I know about them, I should say, okay? The skills inventory of Brigance. You want to make sure you always get the right one too. That make sure that the last one you see is the last one you see. And then they have these scales. I think I did this one right here. Teach is another assessment profile I've heard of. And I think I've done transition planning inventory. So this book has all of the assessments. See, achievement tests. Here's all of the achievement tests. Stanford achievement, the WISC. Here's the WISC. This says 4. This is old. So it says 5 now. No, I'm sorry. This is the RAT4. So this is a different test. The Stanford, the Peabody, the Kaufman, the Bass. I don't know what that, basic achievement skills. Okay. Woodcock Johnson, that's in there. Those are all tests I know. Adaptive behavior assessments. So do you see? These are the assessments you can get done. Or you can do the AFLs and do a few of these. Okay. Interest inventories. The Becker is good. Oasis is good. There's the ONET. Self-directed search. But the Becker, the Oasis, and the ONET, those are good. Picture interest career survey. That's good for people who don't have verbal skills. Okay, I think that's what that's for. The Peabody picture vocabulary, that's another one. Stanford Binet, Wexler. These are all of the assessments that can measure these things. Personality preference or preference tests. There it is again. The MBTI. Okay. This is what you need. The neuropsych Sophia is seeing did one originally on her. Her floor was 6th grade. He couldn't get her. I do like the Woodcock. I like the Wyatt better. But it's all the same. Task analysis on the BCBAs. Yeah, I know, right? She was 7. Yeah, now you could do it, Amanda. She might be better now. It's hard when it comes to these kids in testing. Okay, there's a whole lot of the ceiling for what? The Woodcock Johnson? There's no ceiling. I don't think there's a ceiling for the Woodcock Johnson. There are ceilings on some of the assessments as far as age requirements. Okay. I'm just going through here. The Becker work. Job observation and scale. I mean, I'm telling you, because a lot of kids go to work. They're in school. Just because they have the disability doesn't mean they don't go to school. Here's all the websites to get this stuff from. Okay. Implementation timeline. This book should be instrumental in everything that you do as far as going forward with transition. If you want a step-by-step instruction book, you have it right here with transition. Okay. It's the university. Okay. So here, author's note. And NSTAC and NTAC staff developed this resource by extending materials from Jim Martin at the University of Oklahoma, Zarrow Center, West Virginia Department of Education, the Colorado Department, and the Transition Coalition at the University of Kansas. And here's what it looks like. This is what you do. Suggestion for assessment. So this is what they should be using. Okay? This is the form. I mean, there's so much information in here. It's unbelievable. I absolutely love this document. I've given it to so many people. It's disgusting. So, like I said, this is a good segue into Barbara coming to do her interview. And a lot of this stuff will help you. Look, we asked for a lot of stuff and we didn't get it. But instead I got him, even though I didn't get what I needed as far as, we got a lot of assessments. The school funded a lot of them. And Barbara will tell you more herself. Have you ever considered doing seminars? Yeah. I'm a pain in the ass. It might come to that at some point. He lets her tell him when she wants it. Good. That's a good evaluator, Amanda. You guys, stop sharing. Okay. So, you guys have to know one thing, okay? It's that you're not wrong. You're right about everything. And the problem is you just don't know where the information is to back and support your requests. And then you're dealing with stupid all the time. I mean, the only way to go after them is to be mean and then report them. So even though we're in this situation, that doesn't mean that the states can just go ham and do whatever the hell they want to do and just throw their hands up in the air and say, we don't care about education children anymore. Well, then you don't care about taxes because you're not getting mine. That word salad throws me totally off. And then I feel like I'm just, okay, let me tell you a trick, what I do. Okay. And it's what I learned it from them. So they'll send me an email and I'll respond to it on all of their issues. I'll break it the hell down. I'll bullet it and I'll tell them all about themselves. And then I'll say, I want to know this. And what they do is they skip over everything and answer questions I never brought up. So when they send me the nonsense, sometimes, like what I did with you, Amanda, I just keep hammering it in. And they tell me, I don't know what you're talking about. You're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I mean, I have serious concerns about your capacity to handle this position. See, that's a jab. That's a real nice way to stick her right in the neck. Okay? So there's certain ways you have to respond to them. And sometimes they say stupid stuff like they want certain things, and I'll just skip over it. Like she didn't say nothing. Like for Barbara, one of the things they want her to do is to give blanket consent for them to just run amok with this kid's personally identifiable information, to have full control over his medical and his financial situation. They want control of all of his money. They want control of all of his medical. Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch, and you will find out when she comes on there. Okay? Good. You love it? I told you. You know, that's what happens. You see what we did now. So I found out about AI from one of my parents. And then I told one parent, and now I told all of you guys. And so now the word is getting out there about AI. Everybody's afraid of AI. I ain't afraid of AI. I like it a lot. I'd rather deal with AI than these morons. I don't think you can teach AI to lie and be deceitful. I think that's why I like it so much. You literally would have to teach it to just not know certain things. Okay, so I love AI. And it checks them at the door. They don't know what to do with us. They do not. I write it up. Now, sometimes when I want to do it real quick, I'll type it right into my AI chat. Hi, how are you guys? I mean, sister-in-law. Hey, how's your dog? You never told me anything about the dog. Is the dog okay? Anyway, so how you doing? So anyway, what I sometimes do is just pretend they didn't say nothing, because I'm not giving you consent. Go eat shit and die. That's what that's not nice, but that's what I say. I don't care what they want. So the more they ask for consent, the less I talk about consent. You're not getting it. I don't know. How many languages do I have to say this in? You're not getting it. I mean, I have to write it. I write it. I don't know. The only other thing I'm going to write it in 20 different languages and send it to the crazy bitch. And she is the area director of the Department of Developmental Disabilities on the South Shore. The area director. And I'm telling you, she's just no good. I don't like her. I think she's conniving. She's deceitful. I think she's just rotten to the core. I really do. And there's going to come a time where I'm going to be throwing her name around like I ain't got no sense. All good, but still not good. Aw, how's Todd doing? How's the baby brother doing? Is he okay with the dog situation? If I know Todd, he's babying that dog like nobody's business. Is the dog going to be okay? I mean, seriously. It's going to get better. It's going to take a long time, huh? Sounds like it. Okay. But anyway, so, yeah, what I do is I do with that. When they say something stupid sometimes, I just go around them and I just keep writing what I'm writing. It's like they didn't even say nothing. Especially if they're asking for something stupid like consent. Now, see, with you, Amanda, it was just fun because she's an idiot. So I had to break down everything to this crazy woman. I had to cut and paste, and I had to use AI. I had to tell her about stuff because she's stupid. I don't like her. And I'm waiting for her to say something. And now we're going to do us. So tomorrow we got some shit to do. And when we get it done, everything will be good. Okay? And Alma, I still have not put the stuff, compressed it. That's what I have to do. I have to compress it. And once I compress it and then attach all the other documents, I can just send it to you. And it's done. It's wonderful. Wait till you see the little nugget I added at the end. Oh, goody. I like nuggets. What did you say? Tammy, after transition with Barbara, can you train us on due process? No. You're not going to due process. You get more with complaints. Due process sucks. They're all paid in full. Over they just lie, honey. They lie. They lie. The hearing officers are no goddamn good. I have not met, I think I met one hearing officer. I met one lawyer who worked in the complaint department at the Department of Education, and I forgot what state it was. And she was the only one that knew what she was talking about. And I won, of course. But she had to chew them out again. Yeah. I just know I'm going to be disappointed with the due process. Yes, you are. Don't do due process. You're not doing due process. It's a shit show. I am not even kidding. I'm just not. It's beyond understanding the nonsense they put you through. If you think what you're going through with them right now is bad, it's better to just keep filing complaints. So when you get the complaint that you filed, you read it. If you didn't win, then you read why you didn't win, because in their findings, they're going to tell you what they relied on to come to their conclusions. And so now what you take that finding for that particular conclusion or that finding, and you prove that they were wrong, and now you file against the state. Yeah, no, they don't give a, oh God. In one of my friend's cases, the court reporter threw out the transcripts and then lied. They were in court. Lied about it. Oh yeah. Lied about it. Don't do due process. We are not in a due process state of mind right now. No, absolutely not. If you guys thought it was bad before, it's way worse now. The best way to get them, because we still have OSA, but the best way to get them, is through the complaint process. And then you go after, if you don't win, you go after the state. And if the state comes back and tells you something wild, you got to look in your laws and see if you can take your state to a hearing, or can you go straight to court. And that's what we'll do. We'll file federal court proceedings all over the United States. That's how you make changes. Well, you know what I just realized? The first time they tried to fix Ethan's, the state rejected it, and they just did the same. Oh, God, yes. Because they don't learn from their mistakes at all. What you need to go do is go read the findings the second time around, where we won. Because we won. When we won all of those services for Ethan. Go look at that. That's the one you use for your daughter. And all you have to do is go cut and paste what they said about your daughter for the same situation. You use that as your complaint. This is what the school district didn't do. You cut and paste what the state said that the school district didn't do for Ethan, which led to him getting compensatory services. He is right here. You know him. That our baby. I know. I will let you work. Okay. Hey, Todd. We miss you. Miss you a lot. Ay. I don't know who's going after who. Yeah, we did win, and they rejected the corrective action. They can't reject the corrective action. That's a violation. You guys can't make up words. Can't make up words and situations. You can't make them up. Because you're giving them an excuse to not do stuff. When the state said, okay, we're going to have to do a whole thing on what the state's responsibility is regarding the implementation of IDEA through the school district. We're going to have to do that. Because that's what you guys are not getting at all. You're not getting it. Yeah, that's not a threat. You just keep filing in it, just like in Massachusetts. Eventually, took a year and a half for Massachusetts to do that investigation. A year and a half. A year and a half. Yeah. And we got everything we were supposed to get. They got in trouble. And I don't like them. And I don't care. So they're stupid. So don't worry. I mean, I worry. So I know you're going to worry. But the fight ain't over, okay? The fight's not over. We've only just begun to fight, all right? So don't get down. The fighting is good, okay? Going back and forth with them is wonderful. At some point in time, people in America are going to say, what the hell am I paying my taxes for? If it's not going for education for my kid with special needs, why am I'm not paying all that money. Go to hell. That's taxation without representation. I'm paying for something that I'm not getting. Then I'm not going to pay. I'm just not going to pay. I'm not giving that moron 1 red cent of my money. I'm not. And I'm telling you, there's going to come a time in this country, if they don't smarten up, there's going to be a run on the banks. Everybody's going to go run and take all of their money out of the banks. That's what happened in the Depression in the what was it, 29? That's what happened. Everybody took their money out of the bank, and guess what? No money in no banks, no depression. Serious depression, food lines and everything. Guys, keep playing around. At FIFO. Hey, FIFO. Next week, I'm going to have some t-shirts done, and I'm going to show you guys, and I'll be plopping them up all over the video so you guys can see them. Ubikabi, and you guys can let me know what sizes. Okay? I asked that question especially because I'm in Illinois, and our taxes are through I bet 65% of my property. I don't know why. I wouldn't pay them. I'd figure out a way how to do a workaround. Donald Trump did it. He ain't paid taxes ever. Ever. I'm telling you, part of me is glad that the states aren't getting money for education. They ain't doing nothing anyway. And I'm telling you, I believe with all of my heart that the education system is about to change into something that they never expected, but I did. Teachers are not going to be all that important. Not the way they are now. The good teachers are going to survive this. The bad teachers, they'll be gone. They'll be gone. OSEP is being suspicious, like they do not care. Oh, no. Their hands are tied. Their hands are tied. But that's okay. We keep pushing. We just keep pushing, but that's their job. They still have to do their job. Now, if some moron over there is telling them not to do something, it's okay because we have rights. We can push it. I would love to do a class action lawsuit. I would just love to figure out how to do that. Or to have a whole bunch of people file complaints file in federal court at the same time. I would love to do that. And then call the media and tell them, look what we did. I would love to do that. Are you kidding me? Teach you guys all how to do it, and then everybody file it on the same day. It would be, because you can do it from I did stuff from here. I filed in federal court for one of my clients years ago. I helped my client do it, but I did it from Pennsylvania. She lives in Massachusetts. We had a judge and everything. We didn't win, of course, but we had a judge. But I don't care if we won. We won because her kid ended up being educated at home, and the kid started talking. He was severely autistic. When I met him, he was 3. He couldn't talk at all. And now, full sentences, reciprocal conversation. He's 6. I think he's 16. He might even be older than that. I talked to the mother not too long ago, and she said he was talking like a champ, and he was bigger than her. But you might be down, but you ain't out, and that's all you have to remember. Keep the good fight. You guys are okay. You're gonna be okay. I'm telling you, you're gonna be okay. Because if you're not okay, it don't matter, because nobody's okay, and everything has changed. Okay, so it's not just, you don't have to just worry about special education. You got to worry about everything. Okay, so you love my stories. I'm a hot mess. Anyway, I got to go. I'm getting tired. And I will talk to you guys on, I think I got to do it on Wednesday for Barbara because that's her only day off. So we'll do it on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And I will put out some of this stuff for you guys. I already put out that other thing. It's in the what do you call it? It's in the transcript for this video. So if you want the transcript, go to, and you're on Facebook, go to the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to do it. And by the way, guys, thank you. I am moving up that ladder to 500 subscribers, and I really appreciate it. I'm at 286 now. I am so happy. Thank you so much for the support. And if you can, you know, anything that you guys can help me with is greatly appreciated. It keeps me coming back. It keeps me motivated, and all I want to do is help. So it supports the channel. So if you like the content, show me your appreciation, and it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if it's a penny. Buy me a couple of stars. They're a penny a piece. I don't care. So thank you so much for coming. I'll see you next Wednesday with our special guest, Barbara. I hope to see you then. Thanks for coming. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.